Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second shelf and to, yes, another book haul, but kind of a mini book haul. It's only 5 books, not my usual 7, let alone more. And there is a reason for it. This is my June book haul, obviously, because it is the 22nd or something of June. Books for July. But in July is my birthday, mid-July, and I tend to buy a lot of books. I get book vouchers and get books from friends as a birthday present. So I try to not overdo it with the books that I bought for July, because I know in July there's going to be huge. So that's why I limited myself to just a couple of books, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5 I'm reading or I have already read, and one I wanted to buy because it's a new publisher, and it's also a buddy read. That's all very cryptic, so let's just start. The first one is a book that do I have bleeding lipstick? No, it's okay, because it's very warm. I mean, just for you, I'm wearing the BookTube, the book haul blouse, even though it has kind of long sleeves and is not very thin from fabric. And we are having a heat wave. We are reaching 100 again. This 35, 37. So that's 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So. But it's early in the morning, so that's still okay. I'm digressing. Anyway, if I weren't interested in the story, I probably would have bought this book just for the cover, because I think it's so fantastic. Julia Armfield, Our Wives Under the Sea, which came out, I think, last year, 22, so 3 years ago. Time flies. But I was interested in this book because it is about a couple, 2 women, Mira and Leah. And Leah is a marine biologist, and she went on a deep dive with a submarine. Something went wrong, and when she came back, she's not what she used to be. And you can kind of guess from the beginning that something happened with the submarine, and something happened to her. Sea monsters turning into waterish beings, something like that. That's not a spoiler because I haven't read the book yet, but it's what I expect. And I'm not into horror, as you know, but I really like books about weird sea creature women. So I loved From the Wreck by Jane Rawson, which is about a shipwreck, and the one survivor is kind of symbiotically combined with not as so much a sea creature, but somebody from outer space, a female creature from outer space. But you get the idea. And last year I read The Mermaid of Black Conch by Monique Roffey, about a mermaid, but with a twist. And I just really like that type of story. So that's why I bought Our Wives Under the Sea. It won the Polari Prize, as you can see from the sticker. But the Polari Prize is I think it's a debut prize for LGBTQ plus authors. So yeah, but like I said, I probably would have bought it just for this really, really weird cover. So that's that. The next one, still the bleeding lipstick. It's warm. The next one is the buddy read, but it's also for my Reading Europe project. I will read this with Joe Smith. probably in July, if she hasn't read it by then, because she bought it a couple of weeks ago already. But I also wanted to try this new publisher. This is Linden Editions. Publisher was established in 2023. I will leave a link to their website down below. They have now published 3 books, and 3 more are coming up beginning next year. And I think, yeah, it's just really beautiful. So the book is In Late Summer by Magdalena Blažević, translated by Andelka Raguš. And they focus on translated work, publishing outstanding literary works of fiction and narrative nonfiction and essays, primarily in translation from Europe. She's a Bosnian author, but check out their website, and obviously, the books are also really beautifully done if you're into French flaps. This is our author, by the way. And the author was born in Bosnia, so I bought this book as the second book I want to read for the country of Bosnia. You know my project, Reading Europe, where I try to read at least one book from each European country, but sometimes 2, max 3. And Bosnia, I read Catch the Rabbit, but I came across this one. It's new, and the new publisher, and I haven't read many books from a Bosnian author, so I thought this one is a good second pick. It is about the war in 1990, set in 1993, in a small village in the countryside, and I think she is residents of Kiseljak, so that's probably the village that was where people were slaughtered in 1993. And our main character is Ivana. She's only 14 years old, but it's her death and then the last summer, and that is not a spoiler because it says right here in the beginning, my name is Ivana, I lived for 14 summers, and this is the story of my last. So about the Bosnian War. And like I said, I will read this with Joe Smith. But check out Linden Editions, this new publisher, if you're into translated works of fiction and nonfiction. They also publish nonfiction, as I said. The next one I bought because I really like the author, and that is Evie Wyld's latest book, The Echoes. I think published last year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, last year. I really liked her 2 previous books. All the Birds Singing, I thought was brilliant, and had a structure that normally doesn't work for me because it's told backwards. So you start now and then tell the story. Each chapter goes back in time until you find out what happened in the past. And this is very hard to pull off, I feel, as a writer, and she did a wonderful job. And then the other book I read was the Bass Rock, about 4 generations of women and the hardship and sexism they face. Witch hunts, modern sexism in the modern time. And I really loved both books. So I bought The Echoes, even though I am a little trepidatious because one of the main characters is a ghost. Again, this is not a spoiler because it's right in the first sentence. I do not believe in ghosts, which, since my death, has become something of a problem. So this is Max, who died and is still in the house where he lived with his girlfriend. But we'll see. Evie Wyld, like I said, I really love her work, so I hope that this will, I'm just throwing stuff on the ground, that this will work out. And then another book I bought that I also already read, but I'm not going to say anything, is this one, Minas Matchbox by Yoko Ogawa, translated from the Japanese by Stephen Snyder. This is her latest published, I think, 2006. So, but I think it's her latest book translated into English, and I think the English translation came out, last year. Again, Yoko Ogawa. I read 2 of her previous books. The Memory Police, which is kind of a dystopian book about taking away things and the memory of things in a village, and what that means and how that works. I thought that I really loved it, but it's a book not for everyone. And I also read the earlier book, The Housekeeper and the Professor, about a mathematician, the professor, who has Alzheimer's and can't, or some form of dementia. That means he can't remember, he can't retain new memories. So if you talk to him now, he can talk to you sensibly, there's nothing wrong, but if you leave the room, you come back, he will not remember you. Something. I really liked both books, The Memory Police in particular, so I wanted to try this one. And this was a buddy read, my first buddy read with Rachel, who is not on YouTube, but she is on Instagram. And I'm really happy that we finally met, at least kind of, and that we read this book together. But I will do a review of the book in the June wrap-up. And the last book I bought, I'm reading now, as you can see, and that is Maria Popova, Figuring. Maria Popova is, and this is from 2020, non-fiction book, by the way, Popova 2019, almost. Maria Popova was born in Bulgaria. I was thinking of taking this book for the Reading Europe Bulgaria, but I have plenty of books from Bulgaria to choose from. But anyway, so she writes in English. She lives in the US now. I came across her because of her newsletter website. It was called Brain Picking. It's now called The Marginalian. I will leave a link to it down below, and you can subscribe to the newsletter. It's free. There are no ads or anything, and it doesn't cost anything. And she just talks about books and science and life, and she is interested in a lot of the same things that also interest me. And that's for this book, Figuring, which means trying to make sense of the world. It's nonfiction, historical nonfiction, you could say, because it's about famous people in art, literature and science, starting with Kepler, but he's one of the few males. Most of the people she talks about are female, like Rachel Carson, Margaret Fuller, and they all have something, swimming against the grain. I think I mixed 2 metaphors, but you know what I mean. Making sense of the world, and it's just a combination of things that interest me. So science, art, literature, psychology. As you can see from the cover art, this is taken from a drawing by Benjamin Betts, and he was a 19th century psychologist, and he tried to find a way of making thinking and consciousness into pictures. Just Google him. If I remember, I will also leave a link to his artwork down below. So Maria Popova is just somebody who has always interested me, and I missed the book. I didn't know that she had published a book. So I had subscribed to her newsletter, and I really thought she was interesting. And for some reason, because I'm stupid, I didn't see that she had published a book. But that's what BookTube is for, and BookTube friends, because Adam from Memento Mori, he read this either this year or last year, I think this year, and he really, really liked it, and he raved about it when we had a buddy read, and so I had to buy it, of course. So that is Figuring by Maria Popova. And that's all. 15 minutes, people. It's unbelievable. But the book haul in July with my birthday book haul will be probably double, or maybe I do 2 because there will be many books. Anyway, but this is my June mini book haul. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, I'm looking forward to your comments, and I will see you all soon in the next one next Sunday.